to this nigga all day, got me signing with my art. This nigga been tweaking for too long, I can't do much to take it no more. Crazy thing is, nobody believes him. He's screaming out loud right now. This nigga tweaking. He got some nerve acting like he up this bitch and he teaching. He got caught up in a lie. I ain't tryna hide it for no reason. He saying dumb shit unprovoked. He think he dropping gems. He still ain't get the picture yet. His camera out of film. He keeps saying he ain't black, cause it's just a pseudonym. Claiming to read the she's still talking points when we don't know who you is. If you add that shit up, it don't even equal what you said. Your source already killed you, nigga, this like your fifth day dead. That's word to my rival, it's like the Cinco de Mayo. I don't know who need to hear this, but take Supreme up out your bio. I know a nigga who always use digress wrong, he from Ohio. You believe that shit you say, no nigga, you just tryna go viral. You just a pan-German ass nigga. You just tryna go viral, fuck nigga. The crazy thing is, nobody believes him. He's screaming out loud right now. This nigga tweaking. He got some nerve, act like he up this bitch teaching. He got caught up in a lie, tryna hide for no reason. Fuck nigga. He was tryna commit treason, fuck nigga. I'ma air out my grievance, fuck nigga. You better pledge your allegiance, fuck nigga. Fuck 'em.
Damn, Blade, you going crazy.
Niggas say they ain't from Africa. Niggas think they from America. Bitch ass niggas, Smiley Cyrus ass nigga. Fuck you talking about, old grinding ass nigga. Wayne mad. Hey, let's go. So I hit the pedal, niggas already up this bitch line again. All these niggas rhyme, but they ain't gonna tell you, nigga, they tryna fit in. All these niggas cap as fuck, I'm telling you, I already know it. He don't wanna quote his source, cause nigga, that shit gon' just expose it. That's a Nazi scientist, my nigga, you think we wouldn't notice. You stayed in a glass house, you picked up a rock and tried to throw it. Ain't no culture with your couch, my nigga, you just a cosplaying dude. Just a bunch of pseudo-prophets, nigga, without a single peer review. Turn a meme into a thesis. Now you claiming it's the proof. When you go live, niggas get high misinformation like a penthouse view. Niggas ain't dumb as fuck. These niggas, they slower than a snail. If you keep disrespecting my ancestors, nigga, I'm finna give your ass hell. Everything was saying you got from your motherfucking brain is straight from out of jail. This that type of shit that get a nigga sent up the shelf for nigga years. This that type of shit that nigga may have niggas really dropping tears. This that type of shit got people with 51 felony charges. At this point, you need to quit going live. It's really a bad market. At this point, you just a mouthpiece for Russians, nigga, like Benny Johnson. At this point, you need to quit going live, but nigga, cause it's really a bad market. At this point, you just a mouthpiece for the Russians, nigga, like Benny Johnson. You fighting ghosts on the net just like it's a pay-per-view event. You talk adverse possession, my nigga, but you ain't pay your rent. Call it research, but it's just a copy-paste. My nigga, that's what fakers do. Ain't no proof in that tick, nigga, that's just a conspiracy loop. You drunk off anthropology, nigga, this nigga's a YouTube dork. Say it's just a fact, but he can never prove it with support. If it's truth, why you walking in the door, nigga, it's changing that direction. How the fuck you sovereign, nigga, in the land, but you in the courtroom? Nigga be all pro first team, make-believe pseudo. Saying we the real Indians, but your laws is super weak. Cause Walter never has never said that bullshit you preach. You anti-white, but quote the scholars, nigga, in every speech. You claiming liberation while you quoting a whole white supremacy. This shit crazy as fuck, this shit don't make no motherfucking sense to me. How you claiming you against anti-white, but you quote white supremacy? Hey, I've been telling these niggas so long, this shit been getting on my nerves. That's why I had to hit the booth and start the curse stomp niggas. Give a fuck about what you said, but nigga, you ain't on shit. Every time I try to pull up, nigga, get to running. These niggas get to ducking. I pop out, nigga. Get to hitting. Nigga, bitches. Like I pull up, try to get it, hey. Niggas, bitches. We gon' pull up with the switches, get the yeah. dude say the Indians is really black. And every day he go online just to twist the facts. Everything you say was cap, my boy, you ain't even graduate. Why you quoting J.A. Rogers, nigga, he don't even say what you say. I sit back and laugh, but times this shit get really sad. If you was racing a nigga with no legs, your boy still coming last. All you do is go live and fabricate about the fucking past. I been sunning apples for so long, I changed my name to NPM Dad. Talking slick, he getting checked, bitch, that's factual. He faking woke, he faking deep, he real impractical. These niggas ain't got no books, they ain't got no proof, they ain't real radicals. His whole crew is lost, them niggas is pseudo-logical. I can't argue with no goofy, I don't spar off of misinformation. If I count with scholarship, it's a dead conversation. You been chasing fake identities, you a cultural clout chaser. I can't go back and forth with these niggas, these boys scared to show their faces. I can't go back and forth with these niggas, these boys scared to show their faces. You be reverse engineering white supremacy, you really fake racist. They say that Andrew Jackson was a nigga, boy, that shit ain't got no wings. You say that Nathan B. Forrest was black, my nigga, you said the wildest things. You say that tribes were speaking Latin, my nigga, that shit does not compute. Algonquin is Paleo Hebrew, boy, this fuck is wrong with you. You say the Klan was full of brothers, my nigga, you out your mind for real. Andrew Jackson's black, boy, that's cap, you know that shit for real, for real. You say the census lied for centuries, boy, you beefing with the field. If this shit was a sport, these niggas ain't had no highlight reel. If this shit'd be a sport, these niggas have no highlight reel. Niggas is big as fuck, these niggas ain't even in the fucking field. These niggas be wasting time online, we call that nigga Chief Capital. He say he read a book, but I swear to God, that book don't match the plot. Every time I check him for a source, bro, get the glitching out. He ain't even crack the code, that nigga just posted Nazi Twitter posts. Boy, you be yelling on the panel, but you're back to tone. This nigga say the Moors was born in America, boy, that shit is cap and gone, let's go. That nigga cap and gone. I been off the top so long, these niggas won't even right this wrong, these niggas be lying. This bitch got my name in his mouth once again. For every day you keep my name in your mouth, bitch, I'm dropping another song. Pussy, this shit easy. Nigga, this the real thing, nigga. You a bitch and you know that, pussy. 007 Guzman, bitch, I'm feeling just like James Bond. Change my name to NPM Dad, nigga, you my real son. I shouldn't have gave your bitch ass attention, nigga, but I'ma still respond. You can't even read and write, my nigga, how you supposed to correspond? These the type of niggas don't got shit except a name drop. I'm the only one keeping your old ass relevant like GameStop. You a bitch and you tryna hide your true colors like a paint shop. Nigga, you a lame, and you fat, and you corny. How many times I gotta tell you, nigga, you really just getting annoying. You don't never put in work, my nigga, you need to file for unemployment. Who the fuck you think you is, my nigga, you really not that important. I had to leave him in the past, had to leave a nigga right where I hadn't found him at. Old ass nigga washed up, that's why I call that boy a laundromat. And Graham Hancock called, nigga, he said he want his info back. I heard you produce breast milk, my nigga, you really fucking fat. You know you can't prove shit, nigga, you just a fat bitch. Feeling like future, cause nigga, ain't no way around it. Nigga, you talking spice, I'm getting the belt and gone and ground him. You better stay in your place, my nigga, if I put your ass on punishment. I think he an informant, nigga, he working for the government. Think that nigga is cap as fuck, my nigga, he ain't even own shit. This the same nigga that got his YouTube channel taken down. This the same nigga that's buying views like it's going out of style. Nigga, you a fat dyke. Nigga, you better eat a Klondike. Nigga steady chasing clock cause he wanna be inside the limelight. All that nigga do is play Tyree Nasheed videos. All you do is chase clout, pussy and you been a hoe. Nigga always passing up on the debate, he think he Tony Romo. Nigga, you just a mouthpiece for the white man, I call him Andrew Cuomo. And I heard you a sloppy pseudo, nigga, tell me something I don't know. Nigga, you a bitch and I'm telling you that I been new. I don't give a fuck about you, nigga, I thought you knew that. That's why don't nobody come to your panels, nigga, you been washed up. Let's go. They keeping his name alive, man. They trying to keep me on that bitch. Your favorite album made a list, but he fat and soft. Vote him, caught him slipping, took his chain off. You was doing all that sneak this and I done took my belt off. Ain't no need to check this score, nigga. All y'all niggas lost. I don't give a fuck about what you said, you know for hating. You mad cause you starting to lose control of your operation. Nigga, your chat look like a virtual Greyhound station. You look like Whoopi Goldberg with a beard. These niggas scared to show their faces. This shit make believe this nigga's looking like Disney. Why can't finna catch a body, nigga? Long live Copper Grizzly. Nigga tryna grip, but this ain't executed swiftly. All that yelling on the net don't look good when you're 50. All that fake dissing ain't gonna bring your channel back. All that Tyreek dick riding ain't gonna bring your channel back. All that wolf twerking still ain't getting played to the left. Niggas fake as fuck, ain't really playing with theyself. This the type of shit that niggas just sit back and laugh at. You just a nerdy free agent, I'ma call your chief lab rat. Nigga playing safely cause he living ass back. I heard when they caught you slipping, they said, give me all of that. I can keep going back and forth, but dude, it's kinda weird. If it's back in the day, I'ma play him, call him Smear the Queer. I ain't tripping off your opinion, you like a dyke with a beard. All these niggas fake as fuck, I'm telling you that's for real. I don't give a damn, little bitch, I'm going in the paint with it. Ain't no nigga trying to get out my game and switch the lane with it. Nigga made a list, he think I'm paying attention. The only reason why I knew was cause somebody fuck around sent it to me. You really lame, I ain't gonna respond no more. You really a bitch, I ain't gonna respond no more. Niggas fat all the way off, nigga been dick riding. Nigga been selling out, nigga been sneak dissing. Look, 2.5 going on 3 years. Nigga blocked me out the chat, now they mad cause I'm responding. They gonna try to flip it on me like I'm starting everything. Bitch ass nigga, you probably won't even ever again in your life get a.
You can't take out, you can't just concentrate on one variable of the process.
I think you're trying to incorporate a market, like market capitalization and use case and all that type of stuff. That's
I'm just saying the production to get an orange from off a tree to the grocery store or in the juice jug.
Absolutely.
You can't take just one variable. You gotta take
that's
all
what I'm
of
saying. So you do gotta add, like you said, you do gotta add the people that's working. You do gotta add how many trees, all that stuff, like the market capitalization gotta be realized. That's a fact.
Okay, because them same trees gonna grow. Them same trees is growing.
Hold up. I'm trying to get it bit set up. I just rolled up too. Let me play this real quick. What my laptop at? Hold on.
ain't the same.
No, the orange is gonna keep growing. But
the weather is not the same.
What your labor force is, how many that
the weather is not.
Hold up, before I get it cracking, I'm having a conversation on the Aboriginal panel about Bitcoin. Now this dude Superman, he done held whole streams where he's advocating, telling people to buy Bitcoin. This dude up here, he's a fraud though. You feel me? He's a fraud. So I'm gonna play this conversation while I'm smoking my J, and then I'm gonna give my commentary.
Not the same.
How's the weather not the same?
Because motherfucker, it's storms. It's winter. It's frost. It's hot. It's cold.
Shit like that. I'll ask y'all boys about.
No, he's trying to take away some of the variables. He's making a constant. These oranges are coming out every year. No, nigga, that's not true.
Oh, y'all still doing that analogy? No, I got both of y'all points from that analogy. I understand both of y'all concepts from that analogy, but I still am standing on Ethereum and Bitcoin being commodities, and y'all boys haven't showed me.
Man, you haven't showed me nobody listening.
Hold on, let me back it up. So we having a conversation about is Bitcoin a commodity? I'm asking the dude who be telling people to buy Bitcoin.
I don't tell nobody to buy Bitcoin. This dude be telling people to buy Bitcoin. So I'm asking him questions about Bitcoin. He don't know nothing. Watch this.
Applying lessons. Guess what happens to your
Does it?
so the universe?
Based on human interaction. Based on that's
That's what I'm
regular.
saying. Just the physics of the universe. I think it's
Who was that? Hold on, who y'all talking about?
He kind of talk like an elder statesman type shit. Like you.
Nigga just be present, girl. Like, Grateful, you gotta relax. Nigga gave you the answer. She said, nigga, you better respect your elders. Oh, fuck. Shout out to Grateful, man. Y'all gotta stay swift, man. Shout out to Grateful. What you on, Smoke, man? What y'all on today, man? What's up, man? It's 2026.
Not just quite yet over here in California.
Oh, yeah, I forgot it's like 5 o'clock over y'all way.
Yeah, we still got about an hour and 2 hours. Still got about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's still sunlight out over there fucking with y'all niggas.
Hell no. No, it ain't sunlight.
I know that nigga Smoke done popped up in his 4th bag of Funyuns. What's this debate about?
So want to put
You said
that
flat Earth?
I so did want to put Wall Street on that motherfucker. He was like,
Man, I just can't believe Wall Street turned the fade down. That just don't sound like
He turned it down. He turned it down. We was on Old Boy's channel, the other one. Yep. So
man.
Yeah, he did. He turned that shit down. I was like, yep.
Well, yeah, I got two. So you getting out there and that? So what you was gonna debate him on Bout channel?
Anywhere.
Oh, you saying anywhere? Your range ain't like that. You ain't like Curry, nigga. He said anywhere. You hear this nigga? He talking about anywhere. Your range ain't like that, nigga.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I ain't never see you in the paint, nigga.
No, I'm an old guy. Trust and believe.
Yeah, you be doing hook shots and shit, man. You be, you know what I'm saying? You an old dream shake type nigga, man. Y'all ain't all the way out there.
Look, if you ever was paying attention, right? Anytime me and Wall Street go back and forth, he gonna get quiet. He gonna get quiet because he think he knows something, and he do. He knows something, but he don't know enough. He don't know enough. He too basic, right? He can't think outside the box.
We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. He say he too basic. Nah, he's sharp. I would say sharp. Like I say, I think he haven't fought enough of y'all aboriginals yet. You know what I'm saying? So
well, that's why I want to pull it out of him.
Y'all moves.
I want to pull that other part out of him. I think he know more than what he letting on. I want to pull that out of him.
So you think he an undercover elbow? That's what I hear. I hear you think he an undercover elbow.
I think he's I don't know if he's an undercover abo. I think he's just somebody that wants to just choose a side and leave the rest out. So he's gonna have to pull the rest out. He got abo in him. I know he does. Just by the way he talk. Got too much street shit in him. He know better.
Man. Well, yeah, I got I got a couple different platforms. I got some debates coming up on that's not like in these spaces. So I feel I'm confident in going in other space. So the hear you said, oh, you'll debate somewhere else. I'm like, okay, that nigga must feel himself real quick. I don't know if I believe you, but I feel like you feeling yourself though. Okay.
Hey, Lucky. Let me tell you something. Man, look, I have a minor in Pan-Africanism.
Look in there. Get this nigga out the paint. Get this nigga said I got a minor in Pan-Africanism. Man, get out of here, man. I don't know that shit, man.
My major is politics.
You don't want that politic conversation, man.
Man, politics, public administration, public policy, and Pan-Africanism. Man, don't get no more American than that.
Nah, man, you ain't ready for that conversation. So what makes you think you ready for that type of conversation, man?
Look,
You be pushing that MAGA line.
I would no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Hell no. He pitched no MAGA nothing.
Mm-hmm. All right, talk to him.
Man, I'm American. I'm indigenous. I have bloodline here. I have records, land patents, oil wells, case law. My family. I got books. The bottom line is this, though, right? Look, Wall Street would just be like one step, right? I want to debate like Tucker Carlson. I want to debate them people. I want to debate white people. I don't want to debate my own people. Like, I will run through Tariq Nasheed. I will run through Umar Johnson. I will run through Sodnetter and anybody he got on his panel. I'll run through all of them. I would put them out of business. I really would.
Yeah, like I said, you feeling yourself. Cause look. I want to debate Nick Fuentes. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to. You feel me? That's why I've been sparring with y'all, Nick. Cause I feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there and knock over one of them white boys. I'm gonna beat their ass. But I feel you. But you saying that nigga said Tucker Carlson. I ain't gonna lie, Tucker. The way that boy Tucker crafty now, he gonna ask some questions. He gonna bring you in, make you feel real wholesome. That nigga say, yup, though. You think you ready for Tucker? I don't know if you ready for Tucker.
Man, they easy work. They was sold the lie too. And that's why I'm gonna show him. You was sold the lie. Because he actually think his bloodline go back. He actually said his bloodline go back to the Revolutionary War. I tell him, you was a motherfucking lie. Because if you was, then that means you was a slave to these niggas that was fucking your mama.
Nah, that's that victimhood mentality, bro.
He gotta prove he was actually here in America in the 1700s. He can't prove it.
See, but that's where I'm at with it, right? And that's I ain't even, I'm a renegade. I had to get that nigga Taz some credit. I never seen a nigga Taz talk about nothing. But that nigga did make sense. I'm not arguing no thing about nothing but before 1776. Because at the end of the day, when I be pressing these white boys on Twitter and on TikTok, I be pressing their ass on the fact that, bitch, I'm more American than you. Bitch, your ancestors got here way after mine. So, nigga, I'm pressing my line off of when the Constitution started, nigga. So I ain't really trying to do too much other arguing. You feel me? Other than the financial type shit.
Right. And see, and when they get into it, right, because I can actually pull conversation that he had, because I stopped listening to him after a certain point in time because he went into this gaslighting shit and he just went across so he could stay relevant. But the bottom line, he had a conversation with this one dude, right? And they had a conversation about the wars. And this is the key shit. He talked about the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. He said all those wars was based on immigration, right? In the same sense of the matter, they kept talking about these banks, right? Like the Federal Reserve Bank and how they was coming in. Man, I'm telling you, when they was talking about that shit, man, I was like, oh, shit. And actually, I had plugged them in on Smoke Channel a couple times. I was plugging that shit in because what they was talking about was something that they thinking that's going over others' heads, especially our heads, because they really think that people that was actually over here at that time was actually pale skinned when they was not. Look, check this out, Lucky, and I'm gonna land on this, right? And this is what I want people to think about. If you look at the timeline when the Moorish, quote unquote, Moorish Empire went down at Granada, that was 1492. And then there was a sweep. Then people left. And then they moved over into different places. They moved over to other places and all these other places. And then most of the people had came into America. These people under the Spanish Inquisition fled to America. Let's say they went to other places, right? They went over to what they call Scotland, the Netherlands, and all that type of shit, but they came into America. And them people was melanated. But even during the time of the Aztecs and the Incas and all that type of shit, Charles V, the Black Boy King, was actually one of the main kings that was still doing business at that time. So if that's the case, what we got?
So I'm trying to let the nigga build. The nigga wasn't saying nothing though, right? Nigga wasn't saying nothing. So I'm trying to. I'm outside, so I couldn't really skip that bit while I'm smoking. But A-Time, he gonna wrap up here shortly, right? But like I said, I was having a conversation with the nigga Superman, right, about Bitcoin. So the premise of my conversation is that the SEC is in bed with Ethereum, and how does he feel about Bitcoin versus Ethereum, right? This is what I'm trying to get into the conversation with him about, because I'm thinking that I'm talking to somebody who's a crypto guy, but we're about to find out he's not.
Like I said, I got other little boxes I'm trying to check off right now.
But that's real talk though.
Let's go.
That's real talk. We got to figure it out, right? Because the one thing people don't understand about Pan-Africanism, what came from Pan-Americanism, was how we, as melanated people, can come together and be able to get the shit back that was taken from us. And we need to figure out how it was actually done and be able to fortify ourselves to be able to push back on the people that actually portrayed us and actually put these people in position like Steven and Candyland. You know what I'm saying? We need to figure out how to be able to push that back in order to put them people in power, because today, right? Because the big thing is about these goddamn Somalians. We got niggas over here with white people funding these people in the billions in order to push an agenda that a lot of people ain't even paying attention to. And they got other people that look like us in any form of fashions, shapes, and sizes and complexions that actually going along with that because they got a lot of money stuffed in their back pocket. And they did it and compromised their own people to be able to push that agenda because the money stuffed in their pocket. Because at the end of the day, our people is still the one low on the totem pole, based on the fact that the people that are doing it look like us.
But you saying Samoans, look, I hear you about that. I looked into that. I seen a lot of that was propaganda, right? But what I did see was at the same time, Representative Rick Scott did get hit with a $1.7 billion fraud case, and that's getting swept under the rug over the guise of, oh, look at these brown folks that's scamming a little bit. Like they definitely scamming, but they overpopularizing, they scamming besides a white man who scammed for 1.7 billion. Literally at the same time getting caught at the exact same time. So like I be looking at the optics of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at narrative that's getting pushed, right? So while I'm not a big Somalian backer or whatever, it's a narrative that we know we not the same. Them folks know we not the same, but when they paint that narrative, they finna act like, oh yeah, with this black, it's still going to the black bucket. You know how they play. So they acting and they playing and like this and that, but they still gonna put in, they're gonna charge it to the black car. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, real talk though, right? Okay, so check it out though, Lucky. Now you hear something very important, right? They sweep the pale skin under the rug, but they gonna execute them quietly. They always put the nigga, because he got the dark skin, on the table, right? They put him on Front Street. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what we got to understand is that the people that are actually getting this shit done is not just black people, it's white people. But what we need to be focused on is these niggas that are actually doing this too as well. And they're doing it to their own people. Let them white people fight their own fight. Let them white people execute their own white people. We need to execute our own people that's doing this shit, put them people in our communities and funded them 100%. And at the same time, allowed other people that are not like us to come in and be elected. And they was actually bringing immigrants
What
in.
do you mean not? What do you mean not like a break that down from like? Cause I'm not trying to say it as like, oh yeah, bring immigrants in and let them rule over us. But you saying that like immigration, like some of them folks is, you feel me, like
no. That's why I made the reference to what I got on Tucker Carlson. You know what I'm saying? When he had the conversation with this one dude. And they was talking about the thing about the Revolutionary War and Civil War. The key aspect of the thing was immigration. That's why the Alien Sedition Act came in, the Naturalization Act, all these things came in, because the bottom line is that they was actually bringing foreigners in order to boost their numbers to gain some status in order to do something. This is the only reason why the 13 United States became the 13 United States, because they kept bringing these foreigners in. And this is what was going on. They did it again because we caught them the first time. And then they came back and did it again. 1812 war and the Civil War, is they started bringing immigrants in to boost their numbers. And you see it today. You see it today. And this was going on back in the 60s. And this was going on back in the 80s. This was going on back in the 90s. This was going on back in the thousands. They was bringing immigrants in order to boost their numbers to fight who? And the subject who? Us. Because the bottom line is they all getting good shit. They all got good shit going on. And at the bottom line, we got to get it from the mud. And that's all it is. Now, we ain't got no problem doing that because we're not even paying attention to the politics of it. But they are. They understand what they're doing. And this is why they got these immigrants up in here, is to boost their numbers, to get the people elected. And that way the people they get elected will do their bidding in order to get the money and the funds they way and get them going on right now. The only thing Trump doing that I think is good is that he's actually making a point to make it public. You know what I'm saying? And he's actually exposing that. I don't know what else he's doing. I don't know what else he's doing, because what else he's doing, I don't know. You know what I mean? It ain't mounting a hill of beans for me. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Listen, the Trump Stein files is egregious. We're not even gonna get into that. But if we just speaking strictly to your point, because I think it's basically you kind of speaking like immigration wise. Like when you look into it, all of that stuff, right, about them bringing in and boosting up their numbers, they was bringing in and boosting up their white numbers. They was bringing in people that they would eventually add them into the white category, whether or not they was originally called white. Like, you know how like the Italians had to eventually become white, the Irish had to eventually become white, blah, 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 blah. So they still on that same tip, right? Yeah, they talking about, okay, yeah, they sent back 300,000, which is still low compared to the last administration. At this point in time, last administration, they had already released, or they had already deported 1.2 million. So they really low on the numbers. But let's just say they focused on that. They're shipping away people that's not white, and they talking about bringing in people from white countries. They literally saying it out their mouth, like, we need to bring in the white people, like you say, to boost their numbers. So if they still working that same play, trying to bring their numbers in, how can a nigga co-sign it as if they cleaning up and getting the immigration out? They getting out the brown immigrants and they bringing out the white ones all over again. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But you know the one aspect, the key element they not mentioned? Africans. See, everything that they're talking about is African. Look, let me tell you something. Right here in South Sac, right? I can go right down the street and I will see Afghanis, Ukrainians, I would see all these different type of people, right? That over the last 5-6 years, that they was on the news talking about that they went over there and did this and did that. You got Afghanis, right? You have the Afghanistan blunder. Then you got the Ukraine-Russian war. You got all these people coming up over here, like fresh and clean. Now, let me tell you something, though. On top of that, people think this shit is some bullshit. They in the hood. They on Martin Luther King and 41st Street, right off 47. That's the hood. And they over there walking down the street, going to school, dressed up in their garb. And then you got Ukrainians that's living in these neighborhoods same way. And they're living in neighborhoods that we was trying to get out of. You got to make that make sense. Like for real. This is what they're doing. But at the same time, you go to Subway, you go to the gas station, you go to any of these fast food restaurants, they got them all. So that means they was here not yesterday, not 2 years ago. They've been here for a minute, getting trained, getting educated, being put in a situation where they can win. And when you look at it, they can barely speak English. These people are getting
that's
money.
the Mexicans though. That's the Mexicans though. Like,
no,
but that's assimilate. Like,
no, man.
like, bro,
No, it ain't the Mexicans.
But I'm saying, what I'm saying is, it's
not one
the white,
Mexican owns any major chain. They don't own no liquor store, no gas station, no.
Well, that's. I mean, it depends on where you at. It depends on where you at, because in certain cities, the Mexicans do own those places. But in other cities, in like, you know what I'm saying, it'll be the North African, it'll be the Middle Eastern type, you know what I'm saying, it'll be the African from Somalia land, them type Africans, all that type of shit. But that comes off of our businesses, because everybody know in the hood, all of the corner stores and all that shit, them was regular. That was a black owned business. So when they shut down, nigga, the corner store, they just gave it to the immigrant. They busted and put a lot of immigrants into our cities in the 1880s, 1890s. That's like immigrants couldn't go nowhere. If you was a Chinese person, if you was a fucking a North African, if you was a East African, put you in the black side of town, nigga. You could not stay no other way. So when a nigga took their shit, they gave it to the next one available.
Yeah, but
I wanted you to finish.
You want to talk about the 1880s? Hold on, Dulcie, hold on. Don't do that, please. All right, so look, me and Lucky having a good build. I like building with Lucky. Lucky does his research.
Yeah, just let me know when y'all can pause it for a second. Just pin for a second.
No, those I ain't gonna lie. I can let those interject a little bit because
and everything that he says, I concur. Because
well, when you look back into the records, man, you'll see a lot of that shit, like that timeline that you're speaking about. Like a lot of that shit it's truth in the details. You know what I'm saying? So back around that time frame.
Happy New Year's, niggas.
That's what I.
Oh,
that's
you
I
nigga.
just wanted to cut in to say happy.
I'm
New
definitely
Year.
a
I
nigga.
don't want to talk when we're very strong men are talking or anything like that, because I'm changing over a new leaf. But I just want to say happy New Year's, everybody.
Dulcie, come on, Dulcie.
Nobody believe that shit.
Dulcie, what's up with the new leaf? Why new leaf?
Dulcie, happy New Year's, Dulcie.
What new leaf? What's the color? What you talking about? You got some? What's it? It's some za.
Happy New Year's, niggas. It's 2026. What you black motherfuckers gonna
Johnny
do?
said that I need to act more like a lady, so I'm gonna act more like a lady.
He said he still got like 5 hours. He ain't.
And you gonna listen to Nada. You gonna not wash your ass with soap.
You know ain't nobody listening to coconut curry, man. Those
you ain't gonna brush your teeth for one time a week.
Wait, what did you say?
You listening to Nada, you ain't gonna wash your ass and you gonna brush your teeth once a week?
No, I'm still gonna do that.
Oh yeah, you better.
So Can't answer for herself.
Super.
Yeah, I was a little bit long-winded. East African, and you got the East African and things like that. There was no evidence of an African at that time. Those eastern areas that you call Africa, places, people were Caucasians. These were Caucasians. And the one thing that was actually going on at that time that you would consider had nothing to do with indigenous people that was then considered to be American Indians or otherwise.
I'm an Ethereum Solano type.
And Dosey, these motherfuckers is lost. All you gotta do is just turn it on.
Hey, I will say this though.
Dosey.
My thing is this though.
I'm gonna turn it on.
If you want to get into some real stocks, you need to really understand the commodities. You need to really understand Wall Street. And if you're not into the commodities like gold, silver, if you're
Brother,
not
when we pulled up the definition of commodities yesterday, did you read it?
To the oranges and all that shit, like the crops and shit like that, then you ain't doing no real investment.
My nigga, ain't doing no real investment. My nigga Aton, you know Ethereum and Bitcoin is commodities.
Man, fuck all that. I'm saying I don't care. I'm not putting my money in none of that shit. That shit is fictional to me. What I'm saying, if you're not investing in the gold and silver and crops, then you got something else you gotta deal with.
Hey, that's real. Silver for the gold. Silver for the gold bonkers.
That shit been going on before
because China has.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Super, why you saying? Hold up.
But you gotta have some real money to do it though. Lucky.
Why y'all pushing back against Bitcoin and Ethereum being commodities?
You gotta have some real money to do that though, Lucky.
That's why I'm asking
Mr. Real money to get in those commodities.
I got real money. I'm in all that. I'm in all them commodities, brother. I've been in them since 2019. Riding, rode the ups and the highs and the lows.
Do you have one Bitcoin in your possession?
No, I'm a Ethereum guy. I'm
Boom. So see, here he go, right? He out the rip. This right here is when I started talking to Jet, right? So I'm in the house looking for my charger. I think I'm finna move the whole PC to the backyard anyway, cause it's a mini PC. I think I'm finna move that bit to the backyard. What they do, Black Ice? Salute. We chilling tonight. You feel me? I'm chilling tonight. Man, but I'm sitting up here and I'm having a conversation. Well, it took me a minute, man. God bless Aton, man. What do Aton be talking about? We could do a whole show on what do Aton be talking about. You feel me? So I was just trying to be natural with it, but I wanted to talk to the Bitcoin man up there. Cause Superman be swearing to God he got all this information. Right? He the Bitcoin man. So that's why I'm bringing this up, right? So I'm like, hey man, why y'all doing all this pushback? You know it's a commodity, right? This something I know through and through. Ain't no question. He like, do you have a Bitcoin? Got him. I done suck at him, man. See, he don't know. man, you gotta stay swift. But look, I'm exposing the fakers, these niggas who act like they doing this or say they know about that. You're not on that, and you're in the way, and you trying to stop folk from who really own that from putting other people on game. That's not real. That's not real, my boy. So while I'm in this bitch looking for my charger, I gotta get my charger. And I'm finna add some butane to this lighter, and I'm gonna go back to smoking my J in the backyard, and we're gonna listen to this conversation. And then I'm gonna come back in, I'm gonna pause it, I'm gonna rap over it. But y'all gonna see he don't know what he's talking about in this conversation. He don't know what he's talking about in this conversation. And really it's not even no fault to like if he didn't know, cause like everybody ain't up on, you know what I'm saying, crypto. But it's this nigga here, this nigga Superman. He act like he know everything. He was teaching, trying to tell nigga buy Bitcoin. He would tell a nigga it's going to $1 million. Every time a nigga ask him what the price is, he like, oh, that's the perfect price. Get you some Bitcoins. I'm like, this nigga here. What you? So I asked him several questions over this conversation. Let me know he wasn't on nothing, but I knew he wasn't on nothing because he had no information on it. So I asked the nigga, I said, bro, is you a Bitcoin maxi? He said, what is that? I'm like, bro, you don't know what a Bitcoin maxi is? If you don't know what a Bitcoin maxi is, you're not really in the space, first of all. You see what I'm saying? A Bitcoin maxi is short term for a Bitcoin a Bitcoin maximalist, right? So a Bitcoin maximalist is someone who basically stand on Bitcoin. They believe Bitcoin is gonna be the next way. They believe Bitcoin is like the end all be all. Like yeah, they own like the same wavelength as other type people. They feel like it's strictly Bitcoin. That's why they call them Bitcoin maxis. You know what I'm saying? They super dedicated to Bitcoin. And that's how the nigga be acting, right? Everything you ask the nigga, you talking about, you say, hey, bro. You ask the nigga, you say some shit like, hey, bro, what's up with the stocks and shit? You or ask him, do you fuck with crypto? The first thing he gonna say, get you some Bitcoin. And he like, brother, Bitcoin is expensive. Bitcoin down at $90,000. Do I need to invest in the Bitcoin? Is there something else you know about this stuff? Brother, Bitcoin. So I'm like, okay, this nigga a Bitcoin maxi. And I asked him, hey, bro, you a Bitcoin maxi? What is that? I said, this nigga faking it. I said, this nigga faking it. He don't know I'm really like that. Niggas really had to get me back onto the stocks, nigga. I was a real degenerate, nigga. Only crypto, nigga. But anyway, watch this.
Not a Bitcoin maxi. That's why I'm asking a Bitcoin guy. But Ethereum Solano type guy. I like altcoins. But I'm asking you.
Do you have at least 20 Ethereum?
You heard him. Look, he's trying to pop it. I told him I'm an altcoin guy. I'm an altcoin maxi. He pushing Bitcoin. I'm pushing all the other ones. You see what I'm saying? He pushing the Bitcoin. I'm pushing all the other ones. So I say, y'all fuck with Ethereum. You know, so I'm giving a couple name brands. I'm like, y'all fuck with Ethereum. I fuck with Solano. You know, got about 4 Ethereums. You know what I'm saying? Got some Solanos. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to shill my bag, because that's what they call it, shilling the bag. When you talking about tokens you currently holding, you basically shilling your bag type shit. Like, so another nigga purchase it so you can sell it to them. You see what I'm saying? So that's really looked down upon in the industry. So I don't be shilling my bag. I like to just put people up on reputable shit or on good game. Unless a nigga ask me specifically, like, hey, bro, what crypto you think you could fuck with? Or they ask a nigga straight up, hey, bro, what's some shit that you invested in that you believe in? Then I tell them. But if they don't express that they want to know exactly what I'm believing in, then I'm just giving a nigga good game. Just put a nigga up on G. And so when I see a nigga is capped, I know that is an indicator that there is some fraudulent activity going on. And I don't want nobody to get caught up in the mix. This sound like a nigga who bought Bitcoin very late in the game and he hoping and praying, wishing on a star type nigga. You know? And ain't nothing wrong with that, cause ain't no listen. I'm thinking maybe by the summertime, Bitcoin might go on another little run, you know. But it's just not my favorite. It's not my cup of tea. You see what I'm saying? One, I didn't get into it in time, you know. And if we get into the weeds about the shit, when I got into it, you couldn't develop nothing on Bitcoin. Like you couldn't create no dApps, which is like a decentralized application. You couldn't create no dApps over there. You couldn't create nothing over there. So everything, a lot of the industry is built on Ethereum. A lot of the industry is built on Ethereum. And that's what I was trying to have a conversation about. I wanted to have like a little slight debate. Like, okay, cuz you sound like you're a big Bitcoin guy. I'm down there a big ETH guy. Let's do this conversation real quick. What you want to do? Let's put the people on game. It's a new year. We ain't got to talk Albo and Pan African. Let's talk crypto real quick. Because this 2026 run is going to be extremely important. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm gonna get into them on many different episodes. But like this year right here is the year, you know what I'm saying, to get in. So nigga like him, he telling you where I get to the Bitcoin. I'm like, brother, there's other altcoins that's got a lot of market share, that's moving steadily. They ain't super volatile like they try to advertise, and they got more use case. Now you can jump onto some Bitcoin too, especially if you got a nice bag. If you got a nice bag, wait, I think Bitcoin might retrace a little bit more. I can see Bitcoin going down like 60K or 69K type shit. Retrace a little bit if niggas want to get in there, get in there. But niggas gotta look at the charts. Niggas gotta look at the money flow. Niggas gotta look at the liquidity. That type shit. So niggas ain't talking like that. Niggas ain't looking at that. And you know they finna pump. Look, they finna they finna get into printing that money in 2026. Let's just say that. You feel me? The economy low. They ain't Trump and them ain't gonna go out like that. They finna get to printing that money. So when they get to printing that money, bro, y'all boy gotta be ready. But look, watch this. Listen to what he say. I'm finna go smoke.
Do I have 20 Ethereum? No, I got 4 Ethereum, but I got a lot of other altcoins. Yeah, I got 4 Ethereum.
What's your question, nigga?
I'm asking you, brother Bitcoin. Why do you feel like why do you feel like Bitcoin and Ethereum is not commodities? That's what I keep asking you.
They're not listed as commodities.
Where do you gathering that data from?
Nigga, when you trade them, when you go in your digital wallet, it does not say commodity.
So so I've been following this shit. Like I said, I've been following this shit for a long ass time, bro. So I stay on top of the regulators. I stay on top of the SEC and the CFTC. I've been following Gary Gensler since he was a little whippersnapper. I'm telling you that Ethereum and Bitcoin is labeled as they've been in that commodity area. That's the only reason why they've been able to rock out like that.
In the area, or are they?
I'm telling you, they're considered commodities, bro, because of
by whom?
All these other shits.
By whom?
The CFTC, by the CFTC and the SEC.
Drop the link.
Drop the link. Why I can't share my link? Let me drop it real quick. Hold up. I've been following this shit, bro. Like I said, I follow the head of the SEC all the way up, all the cases.
Would you guys recommend investing and then leaving it alone, or?
I'm a long-term investor, 3 to 5 years.
What you said, those are my fault. My headphones went out.
Like if you recommended to invest in Bitcoin, but then leave it alone for like years and let it grow.
Yeah, at least 5 years. You won't be disappointed.
Damn, my headphones bugging out. So as y'all hear them folks, right? As y'all hear them, because I'm outside real quick. As you hear him, my headphone just went out. So when I come back, then I'm gonna go back to the video. But as you hear him, he say he's a long-term investor, which ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying. Long-term is cool, but I'm not a long-term Bitcoin guy. I think Bitcoin was the straw that broke the camel back, but I don't think it's gonna be the one to get through the, you know what I'm saying, type shit. But everybody got to bet on what they bet on. This is the open market. It's a free market. So, but he's pushing Bitcoin type shit. You ask him about other cryptos, he don't know. He'll tell you. Listen, he gave me 2 institutional plays. He said Bitcoin, and one time I heard him say SRP. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. I'm dealing with folks who really not locked in, but they low key trying to give some fake financial advice. Now, nothing I say is financial advice, but cuz it's tweaking. He really tweaking. Oh yeah, getting to the money on. So for people to say Pan-Africanism is dead, they just are stuck online. We call that chronically online. You know what I'm saying? We call that chronically online. But with this Bitcoin conversation, like I said, I don't know if it's the long-term institutional play, but I'm saying he's just saying stuff that the mouthpieces say. Everything that a lot of these people be saying, it just be talking points. I see it's not nothing really structured behind it. So I'm gonna get back on the mic with him, and I'm gonna ask him why he really think Bitcoin and Ethereum is not commodity. Because if you don't even know this, how are you invested into Bitcoin, and you saying hold it down for 3 to 5 years, and you don't even know if it's a commodity or if it's a goddamn security? What do you got? Like, what information are you rolling with? That's what I asked him. And then Dosey started talking, and I couldn't hear her. You see what I'm saying? But the conversation is still being structured. I'm trying to ask the nigga, hey, listen, bro, what are you gonna do in the digital asset realm? He said, we're gonna do Bitcoin. I said, okay. Well, do you know that Bitcoin? Well, then, matter of fact, I don't even think we got that far yet. We still just on the we still on the commodity conversation. This commodity conversation gonna then take 30 minutes, man.
Based on what though? Based on
Physics of the universe.
Based on human interaction. Based on that's
what I'm saying. Just the physics of the universe.
That's just market.
Everything is in constant flux, brother.
Niggas is buying and selling things every day.
Okay, so you telling me that oranges grow different?
No. But hold up.
No, bro. Oranges may grow 100 acres this year, and it's freeze, and they only make 500 acres next year. Nigga, it's ebb and flow. Next year it might be triple. It's not always constant. And the market is you are doing your research and you're betting that this will go up or this will go down. Just like watching the weather. Motherfuckers see a frost coming and they say, well, orange is gonna die this year, so let's say orange. The supply is less. So the demand stays the same and the supply lessens. Guess what happens to your investment? Goes up.
I believe, and I'm gonna put the believe on it. I believe it's the fact
welcome
that
to the church, man. The doors of the church is always open.
Hold on, man. I'm throwing the belief on it, right? But this is what I do know, but I'm gonna put the belief on it. I believe for the fact that based on the orange growing, it ain't about growing, it's about how many employees do they have to pick it.
You can't take out, you can't just concentrate on one variable of the process.
No, I think you're trying to incorporate a market, like market capitalization and use case and all that type of stuff. That's
I'm just saying the production to get an orange from off a tree to the grocery store or in the juice jug.
Absolutely.
You can't take just one variable. You gotta take
That's
all
what I'm
of it.
saying. So you do gotta add, like you said, you
Absolutely.
do gotta add the people that's working. You do gotta add how many trees, all that stuff, like the market capitalization gotta be
Okay.
realized. That's a fact.
Okay. Because them
I
same
understand it.
trees gonna grow. Them same trees is growing. The trees is there. They've been there for a long time. Them
But the
oranges
weather
gonna
ain't the
keep growing.
same.
No, the orange is gonna keep growing. It's about
But the
what your
weather is
labor
not the
force
same.
is, what your labor force is, how many that
The
you
weather
pick.
is not the same.
How's the weather
Yeah.
not the same?
Because motherfucker, it's storms. It's
Hold up,
winter.
y'all
It's
going in the
frost.
oranges.
It's
Y'all
hot.
going in
It's
the oranges
cold.
and shit like that. I'll ask y'all boys about
No,
digital.
he's trying to take away some of the variables. He's making a constant. These oranges are coming out every year. No, nigga, that's not true.
Oh, y'all still doing that analogy? No, I got both of y'all points from that analogy. I understand both of y'all concepts from that analogy, but I still am standing on Ethereum and Bitcoin being commodities, and y'all boys haven't showed me why.
Man, you haven't showed me nobody
Hey,
listening to
that's out my
commodities.
range.
Go look
Y'all
for it,
got it.
brother. Take some
Y'all got
time.
it. That's out my
No,
range.
I don't have to look for. I put it in the back already, right? But I was like, I said it. I said it, but I wanted to put it in the back.
Put it in the back. Hold on, calm.
The SEC approval.
Calm
Let me read
down.
the headline. I'm very calm. I'm just reading the headline. The SEC approval of Ether ETFs acknowledges Ether is a commodity, right? So they're not going to approve the SEC, right? What is that? The Security and Exchange Commission. They're not going to approve ETFs. And this has been a conversation around for a long time. Like I said, that's why I say I follow Gary Gensler and the legislation behind this shit and the fact that he.
Okay, Lucky, let me stop you respectfully.
Sheesh. All right, what's up?
No, real quick. You know,
What's
if I jump in double dutch, you know, I'm coming with some real shit. If the SEC ain't fucking with it, what's that mean?
The SEC, what do you mean by not fucking with it? You mean by like they're not
You said
bothering
the
it?
SEC says something. So what does that mean?
I'm saying that means the SEC is in bed with Ethereum.
Whoa.
Really?
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Why would they put XRP through legislation like they've been putting it? Go ahead. Y'all got it. Go ahead.
No, nigga, you can't read.
Okay. Go ahead.
You cannot read.
Yeah,
I read what you put in the back. Did you read what you put in the back?
Brother, yes.
They saying that ETFs. Do you know what an ETF is?
I know what an ETF is, brother.
Any ETF that's traded and it holds Ethereum is considered a commodity. Not Ethereum itself, the ETF that holds it. That's why I'm saying, Lucky brother, you have to be able to read.
So again, why you trying to parse?
We can pull it up. Pull it up.
That's
man.
fine.
We can read it together.
I'm literally looking at that, right? Listen, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, right? So while you trying to parse the details of this particular argument, I'm telling you, what
the fuck are you talking about?
Just relax. I could pull up federal court. Listen, hold up, relax. Listen what I'm saying. I just pulled up some off the fly, right? To show you because of what I said. I mentioned the words ETF and I said commodity. I just was trying to verify what I was saying to you. So if you're trying to say that the commodity is a ETF and not the Ethereum itself, give me 2 seconds and let me put the federal court case that finds.
You should have started out with that, nigga.
Man, but I'm saying, but listen, bro.
No, nigga, no.
No,
cut it out.
Okay, so
decentralized. It's decentralized.
Absolutely, but okay.
Right. So if it's decentralized, it cannot be regulated by the SEC.
It is regulated by the
only the trading of it.
Right.
And the trading of it, only way they can get their hands on it if someone puts it in an ETF.
Okay, right.
Put it in the back again, Lucky.
I put it in the back again. It's no trip. But like I said, it's no
this
need.
Nigga can't read, man.
But no, I just
hate when these niggas
that's what I'm saying.
come up here
on the screen if you want. You know,
so again, I've been in the weeds with this, right? Look,
you need to put the weed down in the
I'm gonna put multiple. Listen, I'm gonna put multiple links It don't matter what you do to troll because Dosey's in your corner.
I'm not trolling, nigga. I can read. I'm reading what you put in the back. And what you put in the back explains how it's regulated by the SEC, and it's through a ETF.
I'm going through a new
Ethereum, it's not a commodity, brother. We pulled up the definition of commodity yesterday.
I put it in. I put it in the front chat for the brothers and sisters. The first one, the law. Then I also put another link.
Lucky man, you want to be smart, but you don't want to put in the work.
It's not even about trying to be smart, bro. That's why I said I'm moving in a different direction. I'm moving in a different element. This year.
I don't know nothing about none of that.
Nigga moving a new leaf or whatever. I don't have to argue with niggas to try to do like literally I'm having a conversation with you.
Arguing.
And if you just look it up, it's not even
you
hard.
Said Ethereum is.
So listen, this boy being overly dedicated. Let me drop this other one down. Is it an echo? Hell yeah. So, as you can see, Jit tweet. He trying to overtalk, and I ain't doing that this year. Right? I'm moving in a different space. I found some other places where I can content create at. I got this white dude who finna let me do a debate over on his channel, and they be doing numbers. You know what I'm saying? I got an African nigga I've been fucking with on Twitter. I'm finna go back to doing Twitter spaces. You know what I'm saying? Moving different in 26. Getting back focused on the money and focus on what I'm really locked in with. Oh yeah, man. I just got to keep it real. You know, just got to keep it real, man. That's all. But look, as y'all can hear, look, it's so hard to try to get a conversation with Jit because he's trying to act like he's the authoritative figure in this conversation. As you guys are gonna realize, which matter of fact, let me speed this process up. All right, before I even go to listening to this bullshit, let's ask: is Ethereum considered a goddamn commodity, bro? Let's ask the motherfucking question. Matter of fact, let's deep dive. Is Ethereum a security or a commodity? Watch that. Right? And then we're gonna share this real quick. Right? Just real quick. Matter of fact, let me make it bigger because I know some people got their motherfucking eyes is in the car. So bam, Ethereum is classified as a commodity. Let's go ahead and open that up a little bit more. It's classified as a commodity by the U.S. Commodity Futures, what did I say? CFTC, due to its fungibility, you know what I'm saying, use case, and active trading. However, it was initially classified as security during its initial coin off. You see what I'm saying? He working with old information. So I'm asking him, I'm saying, where you get your information from? Right? So clearly he don't know. That's just off the dribble. Right? Don't even have to go too deep into that. Let me bring the because sometimes they like to play with the audio. Let me bring it back. Hold up 2 seconds. Sometimes they like to play with the audio when I go to switch it from source to source in the restream. Let me see. Bam. All right, let's get back into it.
It's a commodity. It is not considered by no
4 different articles.
As a commodity.
So does anybody else have a computer that can look up the 4 different things I just put in the chat? That can
man, all you gotta do is pull up Ethereum in a white paper. Nowhere in the white paper says it's a commodity.
Give me time to pull it up, but I am working on pulling it up now.
Like I said, it has no. I have no point in dick measuring with niggas. I'm literally having a conversation trying to get.
You trying to talk about some shit, but you don't understand what you're talking about.
Because I'm I'm coming against your Bitcoin method, bro. Just answer questions and be humble.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question? I'm sorry. You're right.
I asked you a simple question about did you know that Bitcoin Ethereum was a commodity?
It is not a commodity, sir.
Okay, so now that we're there where you're saying it's not, allow someone else to look into it. We got multiple people in the chat saying it is a commodity. We got multiple people on the panel who got laptops.
It's the cryptocurrency, man. Come on, man.
I fuck with cryptos. I'm locked in. And I wanted to
get that cryptocurrencies are commodities.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that certain cryptos are commodities. Ethereum is a commodity. Bitcoin is a commodity. Certain things that have use cases that have communities built around that ecosystem.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, Lucky. You could be right, bro.
That's all
I have
saying, bro.
I just read the shit. Maybe let's look at it. Let's look at it in front of me. I could be fucked up. I'm supposed to be making me another drink.
That's what I'm saying. You trying to do all this pissing.
What are
I'm
you
just trying to
drinking, Superman?
Champagne. It's New Year's.
Lucky King, would you like to take over from here?
Man, don't see if you don't knock it off.
Them niggas about to buy me off the panel. I forgot this is a different channel. No, you good.
Nah, you good.
You can read it. I'm just saying.
That don't even sound right.
Nah, it do got a nice ring to it, man. Just relax.
It do. But no.
I might change my name.
I ain't taking that serious.
I might change my name to Ibn Amir. Ibn Amir.
I need some consistency in that. It still don't. It don't.
All of 2026. What do you mean? It'll be nothing but consistency, King, and time. So it says federal court finds Ether is commodity in CFTC fraud case. The U.S. Well, let me blow it up. The U.S. District Court for Northern District of Illinois entered an order of other things that found Bitcoin and Ethereum are commodities.
So, Bill, 2 for 2. Right? Just told his ass. Just told him. I said, fam, Ethereum and Bitcoin, they commodities, fam. But you supposed to be the smart guy. You supposed to be Mr. Masters. Supposed to talk over everybody, troll everything. You annoying, bro. And you don't even know what you be talking about 75% of the time. That might be too generous. You don't know what you're talking about fairly often, bro. Let me see how much longer a nigga got of this, because I don't know. I kind of want to pivot to that Pan-African conversation real quick. Because niggas be talking about Pan-Africanism is dead, and I don't understand what they're looking at. I was over in Smoke Center chat, right? Let me take this down. Because I think the gist of this, I think we done got the gist of it, right? We finna argue for a bunch of minutes. He finna still act like it's not that, right? You thought
arguing for 45 minutes trying to get to the weeds. I'm trying to get to the crux of my conversation.
He still arguing with me all the way up after that. So from motherfucking here to he still arguing for 7 more minutes. 7 more minutes. Tripping. Matter of fact, even longer than that, because now we're at the 5 hour, 18 minute mark, and we had to put it on the screen again. Let me see if this shit was crazy. Hold on. I'm gonna get to the Pan-African conversation, but this shit, I'm just trying to prove he don't know what he talking about.
No, there's a hyphen in that. It's considered a commodity-based trust. So several years ago, the SEC classified, let's listen to this next sentence, y'all, so we can pay attention to the readers in the chat. Several years ago, the SEC classified ETH as a commodity. Do we need to speak on that again? Several years ago, the SEC classified Ether as a commodity, but that changed over a year ago. Wait, listen, follow the context. It concluded that Ether had become a security following the migration.
Oh, goddamn.
Relax, bro. Relax. There's more to, like I said, I'm deep entrenched in this framework. You don't know what you're talking about. So, which is adopted proof of stake. That's when they migrated, they changed, they went from Ethereum Classic to the new Ethereum, blah, 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 blah. This came.
So I'm telling them that's when Ethereum went from Ethereum Classic, right? Niggas don't even know that. There was Ethereum, right? Ethereum then split Ethereum Classic, and then there was Ethereum, the Ethereum that I'm talking about today currently. Ethereum Classic would have been considered a security. Ethereum, this new Ethereum, is the commodity, right? And that's why I was telling them, I'm like, bro, they in bed with the SEC, fam. I'm sitting up here trying to tell you they a commodity. He like, nah, they a security. What you got, Ethereum Classic, Jit? Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, two distinct blockchains that originated from the same platform, but have diverged in their philosophies, technical approaches, and community support. That's what I was telling them, right? So I'm just, you know what I'm saying, shooting off the hip with him. But I'm trying to keep him abreast of the information. He don't know what he talking about. He don't know what he talking about. Hold up. Let me come back to that. What was I just saying? He don't know what he talking about.
However, there's another form.
What do you say? A ETF is considered a commodity? Oh my!
There's more to, like I said, I'm deep entrenched in this framework. You don't know what you're talking about. So, which is adopted proof of stake. That's when they migrated, they changed, they went from Ethereum Classic to the new Ethereum, blah, blah, blah. This came to light due to the Ethereum Development House consensus suing the SEC, right? That's why, remember when I said this gets to the second part of the conversation I want Aton to touch on. When I said the SEC is in bed with Ethereum. Let's keep rolling down. Keep scrolling.
Man, it's a security, brother.
Relax. Therefore, the ETF's recognition of Ether as a commodity marks a significant reversal. Listen, what did they just say? Therefore, the ETF's recognition of Ether as a commodity marks a significant reversal. There's considerable debate about the reason for the abrupt shift.
Can you read, man?
Relax.
Cannot read, brother.
You see that? What does it say right there? There's considerable debate about the reason for the abrupt shift. There's debate around the reason for the abrupt shift. Again, I already just mentioned Ethereum Classic versus Ethereum. What they do, Zay? What's up with you? What's up? What they do? So I'm mentioning, I'm telling them, I'm already just putting them on game. Look, listen, bro, Ethereum Classic versus Ethereum. Before Ethereum went proof of stake, you know what I'm saying? They was gonna be considered a security. If I really get into the weeds with them, and the reason why I told them they was in bed with them with the SEC, because I'm like, bro, they got information that was, you know what I'm saying, above board. I mean, underhand information that was basically telling them folks, hey, listen, bro, we finna classify y'all shit as a security. And that's what made them come up with this new proof of stake and pivot and fork the company and fork the whole blockchain. So when they fork the whole blockchain, nigga, ain't nobody fucking with Ethereum Classic. Niggas is on, and I mean niggas is hoping and praying to bring Ethereum Classic back. But man, niggas is on ETH. Because that's the one that the SEC gave the gold status to. Well, they gave the gold status to Bitcoin, and then they gave the silver status to Ethereum. They crowned them boys commodities, and they ruled the rest of them shit securities, and they start policing that shit like that. They start running down on all markets, telling niggas they gotta meet SEC regulatory framework. And that's what I'm telling this man. I'm like, bro, I know all this, fam. I'm not just making this shit up. And he just steady fighting, steady fighting. Let me speed up just a little bit. He just steady fighting.
All right, man, going back to your show, whatever the hell you were trying to prove.
No, because I really am involved in this stuff, bro. So it's like I be arguing and shit, and all niggas want to play the games, but like nigga really. So I'm asking niggas questions, and niggas is playing to the left, like nigga don't know what I'm talking about, but they showing that they don't know what they talking about.
What's up with the dramatic pause?
Sometimes you gotta have a dramatic pause for effect, Smoke. You ain't never watched the movie?
Yeah, but it ain't that serious, nigga.
Okay, well I had to do.
I could be wrong, Smoke. I've been drinking.
But anyway, listen, I brought all this up, right?
Took a nigga 45 minutes to admit he was wrong. Nigga, you was wrong off the drip. I was trying to tell you was wrong. Was trying to tell you was wrong the whole time. I'm gonna switch to this Pan-African conversation real quick. But while I'm doing that, let me share this tab. Will Solana flip Ethereum in 2026? I didn't even read this article, but I want to read this article because that's an interesting conversation. I like Solana, but Solana do got a lot of hype around it. Damn, that's crazy. The world of crypto has documented sharp pangs of pain in 2025. With 2026 around the corner, some new developments have started to hound the domain, particularly a narrative implied by Anthony. I know that, bro, but I don't know his last name. He believes Solana has the power to flip Ethereum. That's interesting. Solana do got a strong community. I'm not gonna hold you. Let me see what he say. So Skybridge Capital's Anthony Scaramucci has floated a new opinion in a recent interview stating he believes Solana has the power to flip Ethereum, citing Solana's fast transaction output and its booming usage. It do got a nice transaction. I ain't gonna lie. He did name two good things about Solana. He did not cap. I can't even hold you. That nigga did not cap. That shit is fast with the transactions, nigga, and it's a whole lot of people over there using it. Scaramucci shared how he believes Solana has the power to turn the tables. That's interesting. Solana. So he thinking, but I already got Solana. I already got Solana hitting about $1,000 this bull cycle. I need them hitting about 1,500. But he's saying they could flip ETH. So he thinking Solana could be worth 5-6 bands. That's what he's saying. He's saying he talking crazy. Ted, because Solana ain't nothing right now. Let me go look at what Solana is right now. I should go look at my crypto wallet, but I ain't even. That phone is dead. I use that motherfucking phone like it's a cold wallet. I only turn that bit on to goddamn use it. I got a couple phones like that. Nigga just use that bitch to store a little crypto wallets on them bitches. Only cut them on when I just need to cut it on and move some shit. That bitch at $132. So them boys talking crazy. Them boys talking crazy. Listen, right? So Solana, like I ain't gonna lie. And I forget the RWS is coming in. Ooh, hey man. This is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. But I'm getting more Solana. All January and February, I'm accumulating Solana. I'm gonna be trading Solana. Solana on my mark. See, I don't really like I said, I don't like to give plays out, but I already fuck with Solana. Like I had already just told that nigga Super. Solana one of my babies. But I'm forgetting, like, nigga, we do got them RWAs coming. They on the chain already, nigga. And they got the meme coins over there. Then I'm looking at the volume. It's looking lovely. 4.4, nigga, room to grow. I just see room to grow. You know, it's looking lovely. Then nigga come to the year date. We know that bitch was up at 289 at one point in time. But she down here right here. Just like Bitcoin's down over 30% right now. So this Solana is on pace with Bitcoin, right? Solana's down 35% year to date. But all time, gotta stay swift. You feel me? So one thing about it, that nigga Super said, hey man, about 3 to 5 years, just stay down. Cause listen, fam, nigga like me, when I seen that bit, cause look at the date. Look, man. I was in that bit and then I fell off of it. When I look back and I seen that bit go boop, 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 and when it cracked like this, I said, oh yeah, I'm back locked in, man. I ain't fucking off. I had threw so much Solana away because, like, I ain't gonna lie, I had so NFTs on Solana. So sometimes nigga just cashed out the Solana just to use that bit real quick, go to Publix with it. It's so quick, you feel me? So I'm just using that bit, go to Publix, nigga. But I do got some Solana. But that bit look crazy. You see what I mean? Nigga got in at 26, you looking uppity. But you know, niggas getting in at 89s and 70s and shit. But back here, back in the gap, man, look, back in the gap, nigga had when a nigga first grabbed Solana before a nigga got to spending bags, nigga got Solana at the same time I got AVAX. Them bitches was like $32. You feel me? So I know the growth that it done went through. I know the growth it went through. I got big faith in baby girl. She the 7th biggest market cap right now in crypto. Right? 7th biggest market cap. And what them niggas just said over there? Hold up. He said he gonna flip Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. Cause that boy tweaking. That boy tweaking. Ethereum? I don't know, gang. That's a long way to go. Look, that's the number 2. That's the big boy. Huge. I don't know. Look at that. 24 Bs in volume. Look at that. 24 Bs in volume. Doing way more volume. That's why I be focused on. Yeah, that market cap cool. I do be locking in on market caps. I don't want to just get it confused. But that volume is what's important to a nigga, especially when I'm talking about trading. That volume and it show activity. So nigga just seen 4 billion and I see 24. So now if they saying ETH gonna lose some market share to him, we'll see. We'll see. That's interesting though. I don't know. That's interesting. Let me get to this Pan-African conversation real quick though. I gotta plug a video. Like I said, I like to play black content creators. So I gotta plug a video real quick. I done played this brother on my channel before, but he be doing his thing, and he having a real conversation. Let me get right to it. And they used to play back commercials like I don't give a fuck about life. Holy cow! All right, let me switch the screen up. Let me switch the screen up. Down. Facts, Nat. That's what I'm looking at. I'm see that volume. I'm like, yeah, man. That's where the plays at.
Yeah, we back. Now today's gonna be a quick video.
Let me see. I ain't like the video. Let me stop playing. You know, I got every video I'm playing. I gotta like that bitch. Stop playing. And bam. Well, we got Professor Black Truth says Pan-Africanism is dead. And so my whole thing, and I left a comment on this video. I asked the brother, I'm like, I can't tell if this whole anti-Pan-Africanism, or what they saying literally the catchphrase Pan-Africanism is dead. I can't tell if it's just organic anti-intellectualism or if this is a psyop. Like, I really can't tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a nigga getting gaslit. You can't tell if you're getting gaslit or if the nigga just stupid. You know what I'm saying? You like in that scenario right now. Or at least I feel like I'm in that wave. I don't know if a nigga gaslight me or if he just really stupid. So, and it's all over the place. It's on TikTok, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on YouTube. It's looking like a coordinated thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna let my brother get his shit off. Shout out to this brother right here. I want y'all to sub up to him. Let me make the thing bigger so y'all can see his name. Or let me take that comment down real quick. Y'all can see the brother name. I need y'all to sub up to the brother. He do good content. And he consistent. He be dropping all the time. And he be on fire. Like, I'm telling you, he be on fire.
Quick video. We're gonna be reacting to a video that was put out by Professor Black, who I like to call Professor Black Fiction. So yeah, so not wasting no time. You know, he dropped the video on New Year's, and I saw that he was using the image of John Henrik Clarke, which is ironic to me because nothing that he was saying represents the spirit or the energy or the mentality of the ancestor John Henrik Clarke. He was just using his image for legitimacy, but nothing he said embodied the mentality of John Henrik Clarke. And it's funny because why do you feel the need to invoke the memory of legendary Pan-African scholars, leaders, and all the icons that came throughout history? It's funny, those who try to denigrate the ideology, but also at the same time, they want to uphold those who embodied the ideology at the same time. Why don't you use your own heroes and icons? Oh, I forgot. It's because the Pan-Africanist black man is the only one that's been on the front lines riding for the people throughout history. That's the main archetype that's been blazing the trail for our people, right? Yeah. So you have to invoke the spirit of legendary Pan-Africanists. How come you don't invoke the spirit of those who embodied your ideology? Oh, I forgot, because you cannot hold a candle to the Pan-Africanist black man. Now, anyway, let's get into the clip, and I'm gonna come in and out my commentary. Let me cook this old fool. Let's get into it.
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it schedules or timesheets manually anymore. And it works? Oh, like.
And yes, Dr. John Henrik Clarke was a Pan-Africanist because he felt the global African only way to crush white supremacy and to secure the future of black people on this planet. He was right. If we had global unity among all melanated people, that would change everything. But the problem is we don't live in a world of ifs, woulds, and coulds. We live in a world of what is. And in this world, the real one, the problem was then and remains to this day that the only people who actually want black empowerment as a group are foundational blacks.
All right, we back. Now, what Professor Black Truth is engaged in is propaganda, right? He says two things. He says, oh, if we had unity amongst all melanated people, number one, there's never going to be 100% unity across the board amongst every single group. Even amongst the whites, they argue about, communism versus capitalism. So number one, you would think this guy would be more intelligent at his age, right? There's never going to be 100% agreement on any single topic. Even inside the United States, he said some fraudulent statement. He said the only people who want black empowerment are blacks living in the United States. First of all, blacks living in the United States are not even in full agreement about what they want, right? You have black conservatives who don't even believe in the concept of race. They believe I'm a human being. They believe I'm a Christian first, right? You have black LGBT that believe their sexuality comes first. You have black feminists who believe that I'm a woman first. You have the black passport bros and the black manosphere types who don't even have love for their own women. Their dream is to go overseas and marry some mixed race woman down in Colombia. You have the black professional types, the corporate types, that as soon as they got some money, they ran straight to the white neighborhood and never came back. You have the black communist types, the black Marxists that don't even believe in race, they believe in class. And of course, the same thing happens in other black groups. But of course, when you're pushing propaganda, when you're trying to create this us versus them narrative, you have to concoct this fantastical idea inside your mind. This alternate reality where we're the only ones fighting for black empowerment and everybody else, they're not doing nothing, right? We're the only ones fighting for black empowerment. When of course we know that's false, because the premier movement right now in terms of global black empowerment, the epicenter of that is the AES, right? The AES is the front runner. They holding the baton right now. So anybody else compared to them, you ain't doing shit for real. Shut the fuck up. Just by you making that statement, I can tell you're not even living in reality. You're not even aware of what's going on right now, because you would know that what you said.
I gotta run it back, cause like I said, he gonna go in all facts. Like, niggas are not aware of what's even going on in the real life. I just argued with a nigga who say he was invested in some shit and he didn't even know it was a commodity. Nigga gonna tell me Pan-Africanism dead and he don't even know what's going on in Africa. What are you talking about? Like, legitimately, is this a psyop? Like, or are y'all really slow? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to bring it back, because he finna slide.
Yeah. You have the black professional type, corporate types that as soon as they got some money, they ran straight to the white neighborhood and never came back. You have the black communist types, the black Marxists that don't even believe in race, they believe in class. And of course, the same thing happens in other black groups. But of course, when you're pushing propaganda, when you're trying to create this us versus them narrative, you have to concoct this fantastical idea inside your mind, this alternate reality where my group, we're the only ones fighting for black empowerment and everybody else, they're not doing nothing, right? We're the only ones fighting for black empowerment. When of course we know that's false, because the premier movement right now in terms of global black empowerment, the epicenter of that is the AES, right? The AES is the front runner. They holding the baton right now. So anybody else compared to them, you ain't doing shit for real. Shut the fuck up. Just by you making that statement, I can tell you're not even living. You're not even aware of what's going on right now, because you would know that with what is going on right now on the ground. But of course, when you're engaged in propaganda and you're not really engaged in good faith discussion, you're just going to say anything that comes to your mind to push your agenda, to push your propaganda, because what you're engaged in is propaganda. You're not engaged in good faith discussion. It is what it is, bro. And also, you know, I'm disappointed because I thought Professor Black Fiction was a historian. I thought he was well versed in the history of black people around the world, because he said, like he said, oh, it's only been black folks in the United States that's been, you know, fighting for black empowerment. But we know that's false, because every black group has a history of fighting for their empowerment, fighting for their freedom, fighting for their liberation. Every single group has that history. So why do you need to discount the history of other people in order to boost yourself up? That's what you call propaganda. Why can't fighting for their independence? So when I talk about my history, I don't got to downgrade my brother and make up lies about what he went through, make up lies about history. I can stand on my own 2 feet and talk about my own history without minimizing anybody else. But unfortunately, you cannot do the same. You can't do the same, because you said the only people fighting on the front line, the only people fighting for black empowerment has been blacks living in America, and everybody else didn't do shit. That's what you said. We know that to be false, because history has told us that is false. Even when you look at the European narrative of history. Now, of course, we know the Europeans are professionals and they always minimize the history of other people and rewrite the history of truth. I mean, Professor Black Fiction, maybe that's where you got it from. You're trying to bite the swag of the European, right? Yeah, you biting the swag of the European. You're a knockoff white boy. Anyway, even the Europeans will tell you when they went to the continent, starting with the Portuguese in the 1500s, the Portuguese in the 1500s got smacked on the continent. There were many military engagements where the Portuguese got smacked, going all the way back to the 1500s. Even in the 1600s, the 1700s, the 1800s, and the 1900s, every single century going back for the last 500 years damn near, there's been military encounters between African armies and Portuguese military, the French military, and the British military, etc., etc. The European militaries were not able to get a true foothold in the continent until they gained access to the machine gun. But when it was just hand-to-hand combat, when you had to go hand-to-hand with your sword and you really go face face to face like a man, they were getting smacked on the goddamn continent. Even the European historian with all his fake history will tell you, we have took many losses against black men on the battlefield. But for whatever reason, because Professor Black Fiction wants to engage in propaganda, he wants to erase that history and say, oh, the only people who ever fought was the blacks living in America, living in the United States, erasing centuries of history of military engagement, combat, and spitting on the memories of those who sacrificed their life when it came to people defending women and children. So that's why I say you can have your little movement without erasing the history of other people, without falsifying the history of other people. You don't got to minimize the next man to boost yourself up. That's a sign of insecurity. That's a sign of low self-esteem, right? How come you can't just stand on your own 2 feet as a man without trying to minimize the next man? I don't understand that. I don't got to minimize the next man when it comes time to talk about my history. My history is illustrious. It can stand on its own by itself. I don't got to minimize nobody. I don't got to lie on nobody. But anyway, let's continue. Let's hear some more of this incoherent propagandist rambling by this middle-aged man who forgot to take his medication this morning. You know, he got to take his blood pressure medication, you know, but he on YouTube rambling, telling lies. Play the clip.
Why is it that the United States, the home of Dr. John Henrik Clarke, is literally the only place where this kind of ideology has caught on? In Africa, they want to tell one another that my tribe is better than your tribe. And in the Caribbean, they're utterly consumed and eaten up with envy and jealousy of Black Americans to the point they can't concentrate on anything else. And as for South America, from Mexico to Argentina, virtually all the blacks in those Spanish and Portuguese-speaking countries have a dysfunctional relationship with their own blackness.
All right, we back. Now, once again, whether it's Africans on the continent or blacks living in the Caribbean, they're just going about their day-to-day affairs, right? If you think that the lady working down at the market is sitting up on social media worried about Black Americans, that goes to show you're not living in reality. But we already know you're not living in reality by what you already said in the video, right? But I want to touch on what you said, right? The tribalism that exists on the continent, which is very real, but it's so funny because you're too stupid to realize that you're the same side, you're the opposite side of that same coin, right? The same exact thing you say is no different than what a tribalist on the continent would say. The same way you downgrade Pan-Africanism is no different than a tribalist on the continent saying the exact same thing. You have much in common with the same tribalists on the continent that you're talking about, the ones who say my tribe is better than your tribe. Isn't that what you're doing in the video by saying, oh, we're the only ones who fought when it came to Black empowerment? You're doing the exact same thing. You're no different than the low IQ tribesmen living on the continent. You share those exact same sentiments. My tribe is better than your tribe. My tribe fought against Black empowerment. Your tribe didn't. My tribe did this. Your tribe didn't. You're a sophisticated tribesman with a computer. You're no different. You're primitive just like them. You have the same mentality just like them. You're no different than them. You're no different than the tribalists living out in the bush. The only difference is you have technology, right? That's all it is. You have a computer and a microphone, but you're no different than them. You have the same primitive mentality as them. You're no different. You're stupid. But here's the thing when it comes to Pan-Africanism, or at least modern Pan-Africanism, we don't really care about you tribalists because you tribalists are irrelevant, right? You're going to be moved out the way just like the adversary when it comes time to it, right? Because you don't produce anything. When we talk about the illustrious Black men that came throughout history, we don't talk about any tribalists. We don't talk about any tribal-minded Black men. We talk about the Pan-Africanist Black men that was thinking about the collective, that was fighting for the collective. Whether you want to talk about Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, and various other people, whether you want to go to the Caribbean, you want to talk about Christophe Dessalines, whether you want to go to Marcus Garvey, whether you want to talk about Denmark, VC, Malcolm X, Martin Delaney. That's why even in your video, you had to invoke the spirit of John Henrik Clarke. You have to invoke the spirit of Pan-Africanist Black men because it's the Pan-Africanist Black man that has been on the front line fighting for the people, right? Blazing a trail for the people. You don't have any tribal-minded leaders that you can point to invoke their spirit. You don't have any. You have to invoke the spirit of the Pan-Africanist Black man while also talking down on the Pan-Africanist Black man. I don't understand that. It's like invoking the spirit of Prophet Muhammad, but then talking down on Islam. Shout out to Haven Bullets, right? But I also want to talk about what you said about the Spanish and the Portuguese colonies, the folks living down in Latin America, right? Those are mixed race societies, right? Who cares what's going on in mixed race societies, bro? You claim they have an issue with their blackness. Of course, they're mixed. They're mixed. They're the product of white men and Black women mixing for centuries. Everybody knows that every single mixed race society, whenever you get white men mixing with the indigenous women, with the black women, you're going to get anti-blackness. It's always going to happen. You put a white man and a black woman together, you get anti-blackness. Look at Latin America, right? And the same things happen in the United States. You didn't have people in the United States trying to pass for white. I dare you, Professor Black Fiction. I dare you. Try to lie to me and say that black folks in the United States were not trying to pass for white back in the day, during the days of Jim Crow. Tell me I'm lying. Were they not trying to pass for white? Was there no colorism in the United States due to race mixing? Down in Louisiana, where there was a whole lot of race mixing, there was a whole culture created around the race mixing, the Creole culture. You want to tell me there wasn't no colorism going on back then? You want to tell me it was an anti-blackness going on back then? You want to tell me they wasn't trying to get close? I dare you to lie to me, you old geezer. I dare you to lie to me. That's all y'all do is lie. You lie, you rewrite history, you lie about other people. You're a fucking knockoff white boy. You're a knockoff white boy without the money and power. Anyway, let's continue.
We wasted a lot of years trying to get other people on board. We spent decades bringing them into this country with the expectation that they would finally drop the tribalism and the jealousy and the self-hate, but instead of dropping those bad habits, they intensified their attacks on us to the point that white power has installed tethers and foreign flags in most of the top positions in government, academics, and media.
All right, we back. Now, like I said, that reminds me of that classic video, that excellent video I dropped just last month. Take a look up on the screen, the history of black CIA agents and diplomatic assets. And as you can see, the two individuals up on the screen to the left, you have Charles Young. Let me refresh your memory on who that is. Charles Young, born in 1864, was an American soldier, the third African-American graduate of the United States Military Academy, the first black U.S. National Park superintendent, the first black military attaché, the first black man to achieve the rank of the colonel in the United States Army, and the highest ranking black officer in the regular army until his death in 1922. Now, of course, in that video of the black agents and the assets, we spoke about his espionage activities that he engaged in when he was sent down to Haiti back in the early 1900s, if you remember that video. Charles Young was one of the most consequential yet often overlooked figures in early United States military intelligence and diplomacy, a West Point graduate and one of the first black officers in the U.S. Army. Charles Young broke numerous racial barriers, including becoming the first black U.S. military attaché. In the early 1900s, Charles Young was assigned as military attaché to the Republic of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, a posting that placed him at the center of American strategic interests in the Caribbean. While officially serving in a diplomatic capacity, he conducted detailed reconnaissance work, producing maps, evaluating the ports and infrastructure, and gathering intelligence on political factions inside the country, armed groups, and internal power dynamics. He reported back to Washington with a granular understanding of Haitian terrain, governance, and security conditions. His intelligence work in Haiti occurred more than a decade before the U.S. invasion and occupation in 1915, making his assessments part of the early informational groundwork that shaped later American policy. His career reflected both exceptional professional competence and the contradictions of an era in which a black officer could be trusted with sensitive intelligence abroad while facing racism back at home. Now, of course, Professor Black Fiction, in his incoherent rambling on New Year's Day, right, instead of spending time with his family talking about, you know, how beautiful the year was, because that's what I was doing last year. Me and the family had a beautiful dinner, talked about what happened during the year and what we hope to happen in the new year. But you were sitting on the goddamn internet talking down on other black folks. Now, of course, on his during his rambling, he said, oh, we allowed these blacks to come into the country and white power has installed these tethers. But he never wants to talk about white power sending black faces to black countries to gather intelligence and destabilize the region. He don't want to talk about that. He don't want to talk about the black agents of the State Department that are all over the world in black countries serving in diplomatic capacities, coming as, oh, I'm just a travel YouTuber, I'm a traveler, I'm coming to travel and be a tourist, but you're really working for the agency. He never wants to talk about these individuals. It's always this one-sided narrative, oh, we allowed these tethers to undermine us, but he'll never talk about somebody like Charles Young, who was one of the individuals who laid the groundwork for the invasion of Haiti in 1915. He's the reason why the United States even had the information of the terrain and when they invaded. But he don't want to talk about that, right? He's a so-called historian, but he'll never talk about Charles Young in that capacity, right? And also, when you look at the thumbnail, I have somebody else on the thumbnail as well. To the right, we have an individual by the name of Daryl Blocker, right? Let's talk about Daryl Blocker as well. Darrell Blocker is a former American intelligence officer who served for 28 years with the CIA. He held prominent positions including deputy director at the Counterterrorism Center, chief of Africa Division, and the chief of training at Camp Peary, Virginia, better known as the Farm. Within the intelligence community, Darrell Blocker was known for participating in a number of semi-professional musical ensembles during his postings abroad. He retired in 2018 as the most senior black officer in the CIA. Since 2019, Blocker has been a chief operating officer of intelligence and advisory firm Mosaic and a contributor for ABC News. Blocker spent a significant portion of his career assigned to African postings during the 90s and the 2000s, a period marked by U.S. concern over insurgency, Islamist militant networks, and shifting regional alliances. His work involved cultivating relationships with local elites, security forces, and intelligence counterparts, while gathering political and security intelligence on armed groups, internal power struggles, and state stability. These activities were often conducted in fragile states where U.S. influence depended less on formal diplomacy and more on quiet leverage behind the scenes. His tenure coincided with the expansion of U.S. counterterrorism efforts on the continent, particularly after the attacks on U.S. embassies in East Africa in 1998 and later after September 11th. Intelligence officers operating in this environment were tasked not only with tracking militant networks, but also with shaping local responses through training, funding channels, and advisory roles that blurred the line between intelligence gathering and political intervention. Blocker later became publicly known after his identity and role were exposed, offering a rare glimpse into how deeply embedded U.S. intelligence operations had become in African political and security affairs. His career reflects a broader pattern in which Africa served as a long-term theater for American intelligence activity, where information collection, influence operations, and strategic positioning have often preceded or complemented overt military and diplomatic actions. Now, once again, similar to how in the beginning when he said, "Oh, only blacks in America have been fighting for black empowerment," the lie detector determined that was a lie, right? Now this guy, the tethers are coming to undermine us. But of course, he'll never talk about guys like Darrell Blocker. I gave you two examples, one from the early 1900s and one from the modern century, right? And that's only two. And we know the CIA has many black officers, many black agents. But of course, you'll never talk about that because that would undermine your entire narrative, right? That would undermine your entire narrative because if you admit the fact that your so-called tribe is also involved in the destabilization of black nations, then how will you be able to beat on your chest about your alleged superiority, right? So in order to effectively push your propaganda, you have to either lie about history, you have to omit certain segments of history, you have to distort the history to frame a narrative, but you cannot just come out and tell the truth because then your entire narrative would end up collapsing on its face. And of course, this is not unique to the CIA. There are also black officers in the MI6 and the British intelligence, in the DGSE, the French intelligence. So this is normal for intelligence agencies to enlist black individuals. But like I said, the reason why you'll never acknowledge that is because then you won't be able to push your falsified narrative. Oh, the tethers are coming, the white power is installing tethers, but you'll never talk about white power installing your group in other nations to serve the interests of white power. You'll never talk about that. You want to make it seem like in Black America, everybody is united, everybody is harmonious, everybody is living in peace, when we know that's not the case, right? You could examine all levels of society. Down at the bottom, you have all type of factional division, right? Different groups, different blocks going to war with each other. Even at the top, you have those in the upper class. They don't mingle with those in the lower class, right? You have class divisions, you have gang divisions, you have sexuality divisions. You have those who put the sexuality first before they blackness. You have women who put their gender first before they blackness. You got black men who don't even like black women. So shut the fuck up with all this fake propaganda, bro. I don't respect no old line motherfucker. Anyway, let's continue.
On Fiverr, you can find the perfect freelancer for your AI project, but you probably okay.
Pan-Africanism is dead, but the goal of black empowerment that he fought to bring about is alive and well.
Man, shout out to Haven Bullets because he definitely, broke this down in a funny way. When somebody says Pan-Africanism is dead, but at the same time invoking the spirit and the memory of John Henrik Clarke, that's like saying, man, Islam is dead, but shout out to Prophet Muhammad, right? Christianity is finished, but shout out to Jesus Christ, right? Buddhism is finished, but shout out to the Buddha, right? Judaism is finished, but shout out to Moses. That's why I don't take these guys serious. As you can see, just super contradictory, rewriting history, telling false realities, pushing agendas that don't fit the reality on the ground. A complete joke. And I know I might got people in the comment section, folks in the audience that got love for Professor Black Fiction, but I don't give a damn. I don't care about these individuals. I don't rock with none of these individuals. These people are frauds. They're frauds, and it would it would be different if they were young. Like, you remember that young dude who I clowned the other day, who I called the CIA agent? At least he's young. He's a college kid, so he has time to grow. But I don't got no sympathy. I don't got no room for understanding when it comes to somebody who's supposed to be my elder, somebody I'm supposed to look at as a beacon of wisdom and understanding. You're supposed to be in your 50s and your 60s, but this is the type of garbage that I receive from you. So no, I don't got no respect for an old fool. Got no respect. I can deal with a young fool. You know, I can come to an understanding with a young fool. But when it comes to an old head, an old idiot, I don't got no love for that. I don't got no love for that, because when it comes to me, I grew up around black men who are older than me, who have served as a proper example for me. So I have a lot of respect for my elders. So when I see an elder who has just no integrity, no honor, is just a straight liar, a straight grifter, a straight bullshit con artist, it's just a certain disdain in my heart it just starts bubbling up inside. I got no love for an old fool leading me in the wrong direction. You're supposed to be older than me, right? Leading me in the proper direction. So I have a specific hatred in my heart for old heads who lead me in the wrong direction. But anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkar, that's Salim back in the building. Yes, indeed. You already know what it is, man. Second single up the next project.
Yeah, so he just went in. So I don't get why people say, oh yeah, man, Pan-Africanism is dead. Like, look around, bro. What are you talking about? The dude, Professor Black Truth, I don't really fuck with his shit. I ain't never seen none of his content. You feel me? So I don't know what he got going on, but it's 11 o'clock. I'm finna play mad. Let me look and see. I want to read this article about is this 4-year cycle? Let me see what Cointelegraph got to say. He says Bitcoin 4-year cycle broken, and if so, where to next? Analysts split on whether Bitcoin's typical 4-year cycle has ended in 2025, with institutional ETFs and regulatory shifts cited as key factors. Yeah, I mean, that just, to me, the ETFs and the regulatory shifts have just made it slightly less volatile. I think Bitcoin used to be like super volatile, and now it's just slightly volatile. You know what I'm saying? Still volatile though. A wave of institutional crypto participation spurred by exchange-traded funds, and easing of regulation in the U.S., and increasing global liquidation, and a Federal Reserve leadership change are just some of the reasons why analysts think the typical 4-year cycle is broken. The 4-year cycle is tied to Bitcoin halving events, right? Which we got like 813 days to the next halving, which cut miner rewards in half, reducing the supply of new Bitcoin entering circulation. Historically, this was seen as the catalyst for a predictable pattern, right? Accumulation, a post-halving bull run that peaked around 18 months later, that followed by a sharp correction and a multi-year bear market. For sure, everybody knows. So some analysts note Bitcoin's current price action is playing out exactly as a 4-year cycle would, as it has declined 30% from its peak in the year after the halving and has entered the bearish phase. But other analysts say the 4-year cycle is broken. Nick Ruck, doctor of LVRG research, told Cointelegraph that the halving cycle appeared to start to break down in 2025. He added the breakdown was driven by sustained institutional demand through ETFs and corporate treasurers that lessened the expected post-peak crash and reduced volatility compared to the prior cycles. Yeah, because when you got all them billions of dollars wrapped up in ETFs as opposed to hitting the market, that is gonna affect the volatility for sure. What they do, that is gonna affect the volatility for sure, for sure. So what they say, while the bull market may face near-term consolidation amid macroeconomic pressures, we anticipate it will extend into 2026 with support for ongoing structural inflows and evolving market dynamics. And that's what I'm thinking too. I ain't gonna hold you. Early in December, Grayscale predicted that Bitcoin would reach a new all-time high in the first half of 2026, citing a growing macro demand due to currency debasement and a supported regulation environment in the US, right? Because it's considered a commodity now. We got RWAs coming, everybody advertising for them. It's crazy. We expect rising valuations in 2026 and the end of the so-called 4-year cycle, or the theory that crypto market direction follows a recurring 4-year pattern. So these niggas thinking it's finna be endless up from here. These boys tweaking. I don't know if I'm going for it. That sound like hopium. You say the Standard Chartered global head of digital asset research, Geoffrey Kendrick, said in early December that the cycle theory was no longer valid and have the bank's prediction now saying that Bitcoin will hit 150,000 by the end of 2026. Man, they've been saying 150,000 every fucking time. They just keep pushing the date back. Other crypto executives, including ARK Invest CEO Kathy Wood, BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes, Crypto Quant founder Ki-Yun Zhu, Bitwise CIO Matt Huyen, and CEO Hunter Horsley, and Real Vision founder RuPaul, all think the 4-year cycle is a thing of the past. Right, and they showing that right here, right? How it played out. You feel me? The bull, then a little bear, and then a big bull, and a little bear, then a big bull, and a little bear, then a big bull, and they saying that this little 30% correction is right on tap. Some niggas say, yeah, there's been this little 30% correction. It's finna slide off to the moon. Other niggas saying it ain't really been no correction. Because Bitcoin done fucked around and hit its all-time high. I think it didn't have nothing to do with the half. I want to say it hit its all-time high in like October. Let me see. Several analysts think the cycle is still in play and crypto has already entered the bear market. That's what I think. I think we already was in the bear, but we might be coming up out of it. Right? We're gonna be coming out of it by the end of the summer, I feel like. Let me see. So they say Bitcoin entered the bear market late October 25, becoming the first major asset price to price in the slowing economy. That's an interesting take. So the analyst from Rec Capital has also maintained that the 4-year cycle is still intact, but said in December that if Bitcoin 4-year cycle is broken, it's probably just leveling up. Analysts have claimed that traders expect the cycle to be intact and sell in anticipation of it, further depressing prices. The creator of the Start the Flow model, who is known as Plan B, said on December 17th that most of the selling was due to OG traumatized by 2021, and the 4-year cycle fans expecting a bear market 2-year post halving. Altcoins bled no euphoria, no alt season, just boredom and pain. While stocks made all-time highs, AI went vertical, and gold outperformed Psychos don't always end. Sometimes they stretch. That's their opinion. So that's interesting. I'm gonna go on and get up out of here. I'm gonna play some Madden. Well, that's interesting, man. I don't get why niggas say Pan-Africanism dead and boy goofy. But yeah, I appreciate y'all tapping. I'm finna slide up out of here. It's late night for me. I done had some drink. I'm chilling. I'm finna go play some Madden, man. Laid back. Let me go ahead and drop that root disc real quick.
Starting on day 21.
Let's go.
These niggas on that bullshit again. But it's free content, nigga. Nigga got mad cause your nigga counter showed them stacks. You ain't had 800 on you.
I know a nigga with 52, he think he Indian. And he say he stay in the trap. This nigga a real degenerate. But I'ma digress off him cause I don't really want him to end this shit. If you believe you can achieve, my brother, you just gotta get off that ignorant shit. It's been 13 hours straight, you screaming, lying on your granny. You cut your camera on with the hood on in your house, you nigga, you like a vigilante. You need to back up from the camera, we can see the cocaine residue, it's uncanny. I noticed you ain't say this crazy shit around your real family. I heard you think Christopher Columbus is a black man, he came from Portugal. I can't go back and forth with you niggas, you ain't even legitimate. I can go back and forth with these niggas ain't even logical. Every time I ask you for a swap, this nigga be trying to set up an obstacle. He say the Moors got expelled from Scotland and this proof is the Apocrypha. These niggas is really throwback fake Temple Moorish Hebrew prophets. If you let them tell the Atlantis is Atlantis, nigga, I don't know what you're saying. Dummy. You just reverse engineering salute your hypothesis. These niggas out here don't even fund their own shit.
These niggas don't do that.
These niggas out here can't even make up their own fucking doctrine. These niggas be trying to say the same shit the white sovereign said. I don't give a fuck what you niggas said. These niggas ain't even paid their child support. Let's go. I'm just keeping it real. Don't get mad at me, my nigga, cause you ain't really been in that field. I know a nigga who 52 and he think he an Indian. And he said he stay in the trap house, nigga, he a real degenerate. But I'ma digress off him, I don't want him to fuck around and end this shit. If you believe you can achieve, my brother, just get off that ignorant shit. It's been 13 hours straight, you still screaming, lying on your granny. You cut your camera on with your hood house, nigga, you like a vigilante.
This nigga looking crazy.
This nigga cut the camera on with a bad angle with the hoodie on, he look like a vigilante.
That's bad work, my nigga, for real.
I know damn well don't nobody know you out here lying on your fucking granny.